A queen wished for a child with skin like snow. She named her Snow White. The queen died, and the king remarried a vain woman. The queen asked her mirror who was the fairest. Enraged that Snow White was fairer, she ordered her killed. The huntsman let Snow White run and brought back an animal's heart. Snow White found a cottage with 7 dwarfs. The dwarfs warned her not to open the door. The queen disguised herself and poisoned Snow White with an apple. A prince found her and stumbled, dislodging the apple. Snow White woke, and the prince asked for her hand. They ruled with care, remembering the past.
In Arendelle, winter arrived like a soft silver lullaby. Snow-layered rooftops, icicles framed windows, the fjord shimmered. Queen Elsa felt a new magic, stirring gentle, patient, unfamiliar. It wasn't the sharp spark of power she used to build palaces. It was softer, almost like a heartbeat beneath the snow. One dawn, wrapped in a frost-blue velvet cloak, Elsa followed a quiet pool into the forest. The trees stood tall, branches heavy with snow. Then she saw it, a faint glow rising from a clearing ahead. Brushing snow aside, she discovered a hidden garden. Crystal roses shimmered like spun glass. Silver lilies chimed when the wind touched them. Pale blue star flowers pulsed with icy light. Instead of wilting, they blossomed brighter the colder the air became. Elsa knelt carefully. The petals did not freeze, they glowed. "I didn't make you," she whispered, surprised. A frost vine curled gently around her gloved hand. Comforting, Elsa understood. This garden grew from winter's harmony. It grew from her learning to embrace her magic, not fear it. Each day she returned, shaping snow arches to shield the flowers. She let soft flakes fall like nourishment upon them. When she sang, the blossoms sparkled as though singing back. The colder the night, the brighter they shone. One afternoon, Anna followed her sister's footprints through the snow. She expected ice sculptures, but stepped into a glowing dream. "Elsa, it's alive!" Anna breathed, amazed. Elsa smiled, peaceful. "Winter isn't emptiness," she said softly. "It's a season of quiet growing." Together, they placed gentle snow lanterns around the clearing. The flowers' glow could shine safely through the long nights. From the castle, Arendelle noticed a soft silver light in the woods. It was like the forest had grown its own constellation. No one knew the secret of the enchanted blooms except the sisters. Every winter after, the garden awakened once more. It grew brighter, stronger, more radiant. Elsa no longer saw winter as something to control. She saw it as something to nurture, a source of beauty. High above the world, where the wind blew cold and lonely, stood a magnificent palace made entirely of ice. This was the home of Queen Sylara, the Snow Queen. She had long silver hair, eyes like a frozen river, and a gown woven from frost. Everyone in the kingdom whispered, "The Snow Queen never smiles." And it was true. Deep inside her chest, where something warm had once lived, there was now only cold silence. In the village below lived a small boy named Pip. He had messy brown hair, 3 freckles on his nose, and a heart full of curiosity. While other children feared the Snow Queen, Pip simply looked up at her glittering palace. He said quietly, "She must be very lonely up there." One morning, he packed a small bag with shortbread biscuits, a jar of honey, and 1 bright golden sunflower. Then he climbed the mountain to visit her. The queen was surprised. No one had ever come simply to visit. Pip sat cross-legged on the icy floor, unwrapped his biscuits and offered her one. Slowly, carefully, the queen sat down and took it. "It's sweet," she said softly. Then Pip held out the sunflower. Its golden petals glowed warmly in the cold, pale hall. The queen took it gently, and for the first time in years, a tiny tear formed in the corner of her eye. She began to talk. Long ago, she had a dear friend from the village. When that friend moved away, the grief was so sharp that something inside Solara had quietly frozen shut. Pip listened carefully, then said simply, "I think your heart wasn't frozen. I think it was just waiting." That afternoon, Pip taught the queen how to make a snow angel in the courtyard. When she looked at the impression she had left, her expression turned to pure surprise, and then, slowly, her lips curved upward. Queen Solara smiled. It was small and quiet, but it was completely real. Deep in the palace walls, a tiny crack ran through the ice, not breaking it, but letting the light in. Before leaving, Pip promised to return every Saturday with biscuits. The queen placed the sunflower in a crystal vase on the windowsill, the first living thing ever kept in the palace. That winter, the village noticed the snow fell more gently, like a kindness. Frost formed flowers on windows each morning, and sometimes villagers saw a tall, silver-haired queen and a small boy walking together at the forest's edge, laughing and throwing snowballs. The ice palace was still made of ice, but now sunlight poured through its walls. Rainbows danced across every room, and warmth filled every corner. All because one small boy with messy hair decided that someone on.
In Aurora lived Prince Orion, brave and exploring, and Princess Lyra, curious and good at riddles. One morning, a glowing castle of crystal towers and spinning bridges appeared high above the clouds. A mysterious message on a silver feather drifted down. Only the clever and brave may enter the sky labyrinth, solve the puzzles, and discover the lost star crystal. It bore the sky witch Velmora's crescent moon mark. Orion grinned. "Adventure," Lyra smiled. "And puzzles." A staircase of light appeared. They climbed into the clouds. Inside, 3 bird statues stood. A voice echoed, "One lies, one tells truth, one sings riddles. Ask one question to find the correct door." Lyra asked the owl, "Which door leads to the star crystal?" The owl pointed. Lyra, knowing owls are wise, chose that door. It opened with a soft glow. Next, an upside-down garden with a sign, "What can travel around the world while staying in one corner?" Orion frowned. Lyra clapped. A stamp. The floating flowers formed a shining path forward. At the heart, Velmora stood. 3 crystals glowed. Blue, red, silver. One holds the star crystal's power. Choose wrongly, and the castle disappears. Lyra noticed the silver crystal reflected outside stars. "The real one must reflect the sky," she said, picking it. It burst into brilliant light. Velmora smiled. "You have proven true heroes use courage and clever thinking." The castle faded, leaving Orion and Lyra in their kingdom with the glowing star crystal. From that day, Aurora knew Orion the brave and Lyra the wise would solve any sky mysteries.